Hello and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Burger. I'm Caroline Romo, the Executive Director for the New Mexico Beef Council. I am here with Chef Mica Chavez, who has
Hey.
done a lot of stuff for us, a lot of work with schools and events and fun things. And so we thought we'd have her on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I guess start off, like, what's your background? Or maybe we should start off with what you were going to do today, and then we'll go into your background. We'll talk about food and
Okay.
then you. So what are we
All
going
right.
to do today?
So today we are going to be making a staple recipe that we do at the Santa Fe School of Cooking, which is one of my other hats that I wear. I'm a chef on staff there. I have been for about 20 years, and we specialize in all things Southwestern. So I chose this sauce because it pairs really, really well with beef, and it uses one of the ingredients that we just absolutely can't get enough of here in New Mexico, and that's chili.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and we should say a special shout out to Santa Fe School of Cooking. We're really excited to be in the kitchen here, and it's a beautiful kitchen, beautiful
Yes.
space. Come check it out if you haven't already. So we're gonna start with sauce.
Sauce.
Okay. Well, if you get started, I'll just kind of make you talk
Okay.
about yourself, if that's okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, our favorite thing to do, right?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to start by cleaning the sauce. In the Cascabel chilies, so there are three classifications of chili. There's sweet,
Okay.
there's hot, there's bell, and then I jokingly say, oh my God, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
So the Cascabel is an example of a sweet chili, and that's not sweet as in sugar sweet, it's sweet as in not hot.
Okay.
So this would be like an example of a paprika.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but Cascabel in Spanish means rattle.
Okay. Oh, and they rattle.
And you being a rancher, this sound makes you jump.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I see right now
Yeah.
your feet got real squirrely.
Right. Yes, 100%. Always wondering if I'm going to hear that. There's a plant out there too that makes that. Another plant that makes that sound.
Yeah,
but
it's
I can't
the devil's
remember.
claw.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
They make
And
that
those
sound too.
things look like Martians when they dry up.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm just popping out the stem, shaking out as many of the seeds as I can get, because the seeds can make this kind of bitter. We're also going to use some dried New Mexico pods. These are leftover from these are hatch from last year that were dried, and we at the Santa Fe School of Cooking, and me personally, and I know with New Mexico Beef, try to do as much as we can to support local. New Mexico is a poor ranching state and farming state, and we're big in the agricultural world, and if we don't support us, nobody else is gonna.
Yeah, we love to talk about that, and even we've been at a lot of schools lately and telling students and reminding students that New Mexico is beef country, and you might not realize it, but there's cows around every corner.
Yeah, there absolutely are cows around every corner, and I hike a lot, and you'll find cows in every nook and cranny of this state. Like you'll come around a corner and there's a cow. It's like, oh, hi.
Yeah, and that's an interesting opportunity too for ranchers in New Mexico. We have a lot of federal lands, the Bureau of Land Management leases, and the state forestry leases.
Well, that helps to keep the grass down, so we don't end up with wildfires, and it's a win-win-win all the way around.
Yeah, we sure think so. Cows are the ultimate upcyclers, right? The carbon sequestration they can do, and
100%.
Yeah. So I've always heard, or I've always thought the seeds were the part that you should take out, but it's not where the heat is. It makes them more bitter.
It can make it bitter, and it's also where the heat is.
It is, okay.
So this is a barbecue sauce.
Right. So
you don't need a lot of heat. And you're gonna, any heat you're gonna get from the New Mexicos anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got all of the chili pods in the pot.
Okay.
And so what I'm gonna do now is add a little bit of oil to this, and I'm gonna start toasting these pods to make them aromatic. And now while those are toasting, I'm gonna start chopping this onion.
Oh, good. We've got you on camera while you have to cut an onion.
Oh boy,
that's great. That's great.
It's a good thing my knife is sharp. I won't cry.
Yeah, right.
Well, you don't have to do a great job chopping this because we're going to blend all of this anyway.
Oh.
So anytime, okay, and this is the part that nobody gets.
Okay.
All right, when you read a recipe, don't just read the top. That could be nuts, bolts, and screws. You just need to make sure you have it.
Yeah.
Okay, the devil is in the details, and the details are in the bottom.
In the
procedure.
Directions. Yeah. Okay.
So read all the way through it once, and if at the bottom it says blend until smooth, you just can whack at it. You don't have to chop it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
we're not
just
spending all this time.
Yeah, just save yourself the step.
Yeah. Okay. So while you're chopping,
Mhm.
tell me about your background. What got you into cooking too? So background
Oh
and the
boy.
start of it all.
So the start of it all, I'm originally from El Paso. My dad was in the army there, and I spent a lot of time with my mom's mom that lived in El Paso, and it was really in her kitchen that all things unconditionally love related kind of all pointed to food.
Okay.
And it was always chili. Like her kitchen always smelled like red chili, green chili, tortillas, coffee, beans. Like sometimes I walk in the mornings and the smell of beans in the room just makes me tear up because that was the smell of home for me, and it still is.
That's really
Um,
special.
and right after my dad got out of the army, we moved from El Paso to Gallup. And when we lived in Gallup, I was one of a very few non-Navajo, non-Hopi, non-Zuni kids.
Okay.
And so my dad worked for the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and we were able to go into places like Canyon de Chelly and Mesa Verde before you needed a native guide.
Wow.
So we went into some places that I don't think a lot of non-native people have seen.
Yeah, beautiful places, I'm
Oh
sure.
my God.
Spiritual places.
Oh,
Yeah,
the whole Southwest is just alive. You just have to sit on a rock and listen, and
absolutely.
you hear it talking to you. I mean,
Absolutely.
people have been here a long, long time. So, growing up with that reverence for what is this culture, and then moving to first South Texas and then to Northern California, I knew this was going to be home for me someday. I knew I was
You're
going
always
to come
coming
back.
back to New Mexico.
Yeah, and I was back in El Paso with my grandmother at the end of her life, and when she passed and my aunt passed shortly thereafter, there just wasn't a lot of reason for me to stay. I had friends here, and Santa Fe attracts people that need a change in their life or in transition, whether you know it at the time or not. And
Yeah.
here I am.
There you go.
So I
It
started.
kept you.
Yeah, and I had a lot of time in kitchens, and I was really successful in El Paso, and I started working with a pecan grower down there who also had probably 50 or 60 head of cows that he was running right down along the river.
Okay.
And he was finishing his cattle on pecans.
Oh man, I bet that tasted delicious.
We were one of the first people all along the border to start doing that kind of like, literally pasture to table kind of thing.
Very cool.
And I really kind of started to realize how important the diet of the cattle were.
Yeah, absolutely.
And much more than corn finish, grass finish, whatever. This gave it a whole nother level of fat first off. And we all know that fat is flavor, and fat's expensive.
Yeah,
Fat,
absolutely.
fat
Absolutely.
is it takes
Access to that is also difficult, right? Especially in New Mexico.
well, and when it gets cold outside, cows can't keep weight on, which means you're trying to keep weight on your cattle. And if there's snow, now you're bringing hay,
Right.
and that's another input, into your cattle. So
And just think of the fuel prices.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
alone to get the hay there.
well, everything associated with it is only going to get more expensive.
Right.
It's not going to get less expensive.
Right.
So one of the things that we have to do as chefs is try to find a way to utilize less expensive cuts and make it and still make it taste good. And so you brought some tri-tip today, and that we're gonna mess with that a little bit, and also we're gonna mess with a high-end cut, a tenderloin.
Absolutely.
So I mean, this is kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're used for very, very different applications.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited. I know we cook a tri-tip at home often because it's a great 30-minute meal. I can sear it and then stick it in the oven and it's done pretty quickly.
And you have one of those green eggs. You could
Yeah,
get
we
one of
have
those
made 'em.
things and smoke. Whoa.
Yeah, we have made one on the green egg. That is actually delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to do that with one of the extras and get a video of the
Heck yeah.
tri-tip on the green egg.
All right. So what I've done here is I've really had a jumper, had an escapee. I have sauteed the onions. I've sauteed the chilies and got them aromatic. So the onions are actually kind of starting to take on some of the flavor and some of the color of the chilies. Now I'm going to add a little bit of garlic because you add your aromatics. And then as soon as I can start smelling the garlic, I mean, look at that. That color is just incredible.
Oh, it's beautiful. I had to get the close up.
Oh man, why wouldn't you? In this clay pot. So this type of clay is called micaceous, and people in this area have been using this for millennia. We don't know how far back, but I like it because of the way that it distributes heat. All right, so we've got onions, we've got garlic, we've got the Cascabel chilies, we've got the New Mexico red chilies. And now I'm going to start building the sauce, and I'm going to start this with a little bit of homemade tomato. I've got some ketchup. Every good barbecue sauce has at least a little bit of ketchup.
Absolutely, that makes sense.
I mean, a little bit of
a lot of good things have ketchup if you're a home cook.
100%. Oh my God, every once when I make ceviche, I add a little bit of ketchup to it because it's acid and salt and sweet and sticky.
Yeah.
So you get a whole bunch of flavor with just a little of ketchup.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I know one of my favorite family recipes would be meatloaf with a whole bunch of ketchup.
You have to. I mean,
ketchup, Worcestershire, and brown sugar. Those are all good things.
Yep. So I just added soy, Worcestershire, ketchup, mustard. There's some brown sugar. Now the recipe that you'll see calls for water. Well, I feel like water tastes like water. Beer tastes like beer, so we're going to use the beer. And we're using a light beer. This is Bow and Arrow, and this is a woman-owned indigenous brewery out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And they actually got nominated for a James Beard Award this year.
Oh wow!
So yeah, those ladies are really doing a good job. And their beers, they have a blue corn. This might even be the blue corn one. No,
I think I saw blue corn on the label.
Yeah, with blue corn.
Yeah, really.
So they're doing a really good job. I mean, the restaurant scene in Albuquerque is popping.
I'm a big fan. I love to tell people that I think Albuquerque and Santa Fe, just New Mexico in general, we have a lot of restaurants, and we have a lot of family-owned restaurants.
Yep.
And that's important. That's super important. And for such a small population to have successful family-owned or privately owned businesses,
yes,
to me, that says something about our culture and our state.
You know,
that we'll support local businesses. We'll
100%. And you know, one of the things that I think became really apparent during COVID is how much we all kind of need to support each other.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, if it weren't for, you know, the farmers market giving, you know, the produce that would have gone to restaurants to food banks, people would have gone hungry. And we were able to take that and stream it into people's kitchens.
Oh,
you know, it was able to be diverted right away. So
that's great.
They did a great job with that.
Yeah. So we've got the sauce going.
Okay, sauce is going. So when these chili pods get soft, and I mean really soft, at that point, then we're going to take it, we're going to blend it until it's smooth.
Okay.
And you want this to be fairly sticky and thick. It is a barbecue sauce.
Okay.
So it should be what we call spoon coat, which literally means coats the back of a spoon.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk beef.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's get into the tri-tip first. So this has a pretty good amount of surface fat. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to take some of that off.
And this is an untrimmed tri-tip.
This is totally untrimmed.
At like a restaurant supply bulk kind of place.
Right. And you know, and this is you can pay a broad spectrum distributor to trim all your meat for you, and you're going to pay more per pound, or you can pay and you can pay your cooks less money. Or you pay somebody like me, and you hand me something like a tenderloin, and I'm able to not only give you, you know, the Chateaubriand, the center cut, the best piece, but then you also get the chain right here. And you use this for stews, you use this for tacos, you use this for the meatloaf we were talking about.
Right.
Because you have to use this scrap some way.
Yeah.
Now with this, I would render this out and make tallow.
Oh yeah.
And when I make tamales during Christmas time, if somebody wants beef tamales, I use that tallow as my fat.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, you can do beef fat French fries. I mean, they taste better. They're more savory.
We've been using tallow a lot.
I mean, tallow is good food. You know, fat got a bad rap a few years ago, and this, you know, it kind of came down to the battle between fat and sugar. And sugar had more influence, whatever, so fat kind of got a bad rap. But if you look at things like tallow, lard, canola oil, olive oil, we've been using this stuff for centuries. We've been using some of this stuff for millennia. That's good.
Yeah.
And we know where it comes from. We know what it does. It got a bad rap.
It did.
It makes me mad.
Yeah. Well, healthy fats are great, but then even, you know, the cuts that you're, as you're cutting the fat off, right? You're talking about fat. One thing I've learned from our dietitian is these are also considered USDA lean. So a tenderloin, because it has the word loin, or if it had the word round in it, that would mean it's USDA lean. So if you're looking for a lean protein, beef can fit that option, right? Because a lot of times we're told to go lean, and we love healthy fats too, and we love a delicious.
100% beef is, you know, in terms of lean, high quality protein, absolutely.
Right.
Now, here's something I want to point out though. There's a little gray spot right here, and you're always going to find these in little pockets of fat.
Okay.
So this is a lymph node right there. See that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you want to do is just kind of pull it out, and we want to take that out.
And what you were showing us last time too, that's like a healthy lymph node.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to find these. They have them all over the place. It's not inflamed. It's not discolored. It looks normal. So that was a healthy animal.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. When the first time I saw you trim one of these, I had never seen that, and then I realized, oh, I'm buying them trimmed. So this is a really neat experience for us to even see buying it, like me and my husband looking at buying untrimmed so that we can try and learn how to do this.
Yeah, and if being cattle ranchers, you're going to want to know every aspect of the business.
Yeah.
Because it's you can do like pasture to table, like we were talking about a little while ago, and
opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, basically it kind of depends on how much energy do you have. The opportunities are there.
Yeah.
Okay, so with this, there's not a lot of fat on this.
Okay.
So when you look at a tri-tip, now first off, the direction of the muscle is going this way.
Right.
So whenever you cut any sort of protein, you always want to cut against the grain. If you cut with the grain, you're going to make a big old rubber band.
Right.
So what you want to do is you want to break those muscle fibers.
Okay.
So for something like this, you would want to cook this. You could smoke this. You could totally do this in an Instapot.
Yeah.
With a little bit of water, some onions, some carrots, some celery. Put it in an Instapot for about an hour. And you have a really nice roast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but there's not a lot of intramuscular marbling.
Right.
So when you're talking about grades of beef, the more marbling you have per inch, the higher the grade, because it goes back to fat is expensive.
Right. Fat is flavor.
Fat is flavor. And so that's why when you look at a tenderloin, so this is a 5-up, and these cows are taken, most of the cows are taken between 1,100 and 1,300 pounds.
Right.
Okay, that's as the cow standing on all four hooves. But by the time you trim all of that out, you're losing almost 50%.
Right. I think
in hide and bones.
Yeah, I think we say like usually expect 60% cut out, right? That you're going to get from hanging, and it goes. There's steps too. We've got a great graphic we can pop up, and there's steps to hanging weight, dry weight, all of these things that it goes down. So if you're buying a whole beef animal, it's really important to know that too.
Yes.
And understand that yes, it's a $1,200. It's a 1,200 pound animal. You're not getting 1,200 pounds of beef.
No.
You're hoping for 600 pounds.
Yeah, and that's if all the meat is okay. If it's bruised in one section, if you have a tumor or something in another section, you can't sell that. That's just loss.
Right, absolutely. And yeah, that's a favorite thing too that I like to tell people too is if there's anything bad found in meat in the process of harvesting and processing an animal, that meat is thrown out. And sometimes if it's bad enough, the whole animal is condemned, and then anything on the floor is looked at extra carefully and all that. So I always try and encourage people that there's not bad stuff in our meat. because they have to be inspected over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah, and those inspectors have a tough job.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now, so I started in kitchens when I was 14. And when you start in kitchens, you usually start at lunch because lunch is cheap and lunch is fast. And so from lunch, you either go to breakfast or you go to dinner. And I didn't really like dinner.
Okay.
Dinner, you have to, you get there, you prep, and then you get busy, and then you get crazy, and then you have a camper that wants to come in at 15 minutes before closing and course their dinner, and you can just...
Yeah. I've been that person often.
You know,
we usually call and ask, is the kitchen closing? Is it okay? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but you're not coming in saying we're going to have first course, second course, third course.
Right.
No.
Just give us our food.
That's
Slap
what I'm
it
talking
down.
about. Yeah, yeah, we're all good with that.
Yeah,
We've all been there, but I mean, this is high-end dining, and by all measures, if they should get the same service as somebody that comes in at 7 o'clock, 100%.
But it's hard to do still.
It's yes, yes. Also,
Because we're humans.
Also, yes.
Yeah, we're also humans.
So, so with breakfast, you just go in, you get done, and you go home. So I liked breakfast.
Yeah.
But one of the things I had to learn how to do was cut beef.
Okay.
Because I would work during the day. That's when we got our deliveries.
Yeah.
And so you have to process all of this. We always went FIFO, push the other steaks forward, put the new steaks in the back.
Yeah.
You get 12 cuts per ribeye, you get 8 cuts, 9 cuts per tenderloin. I mean, you have to know that this is what you're going to yield.
Yeah. FIFO, that's first in, first out.
Yep.
Okay. It was taking me a second.
Old
I like
stuff,
that.
old
Okay.
stuff in the front. Okay,
yeah.
So there's this little tale of what you saw me do first is take everything off with my hands. When one of my very first chefs said, every time you use a knife, you lose money because you're taking off usable portion. Okay, and I can tell you whoever butchered this piece of tenderloin really did not do it any favors. So when we talk about yield, this is a factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody else's mistake is now affecting my saleable portion. Okay, so I'm going to take off this little ball of fat down here. And what I would do is I would start trimming this right here. This would get rendered.
Okay.
This right here, this would get ground.
Okay.
Because we've got a good percentage. I mean, you see ground beef 80, 20, 90, 10, 93, 7.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you want burgers, you want fat.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
The 80-20 is about that's as much as I'm going to do.
Yeah.
All right. So why? Because I don't eat burgers every day, but when I eat one, I want a good one.
Yeah, 100%.
I want the quality. I'm going to come back and try and triage that. All right. So this right here, this is called the chain.
Okay.
And this is what I'm going to grind up. I mean, some of this fat I'm going to take off of here.
Yeah.
But most of this I'm going to grind up.
Yeah.
And this is going to be Meatball Monday. This is going to be Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is going to be something Wednesday. This has to go into something because I still paid $160 for this tenderloin.
Right. Right. So you got to use all of it.
I got to use all of it.
Absolutely.
There has to be a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary use. So the primary use is the center cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's what keeps the lights on.
Yeah.
That's what keeps the aprons on your cooks and and the power on when you hit the switch.
Right.
I've had all of those things go off.
Yeah.
All of this is where you're making your money back.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you have to account for it somewhere. So you want to lift, and you want a sharp knife for this. And you want to take off as little as possible because, again, fat is flavor. You want some of that fat. Okay, so now we have silver skin. So this is connective tissue. This will never, ever, ever in a gazillion years break down.
Okay.
So this is what native tribes would use is like thread or string. Because when you dry this out and you thread something with this, you're not breaking it.
Oh,
ever.
wow. Okay.
So
Is that probably similar to what is used for tennis rackets?
cat gut, yeah, similar. Yeah, you could
well,
probably.
no, it's cow. Sometimes it's the tennis rackets are made from cows too.
Oh, really?
That's I
didn't
don't
know that.
Somebody can fact check me, but that's what I.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll see I'm pulling back and I'm angling the knife up. So as soon as I get my finger in there, I'm going to put my finger and I'm going to pull back. And you want to keep the tension on there. So you take off as little saleable portion as possible and come back. All right, so look.
Yeah, the silver. It's literally silver, shining in the light and everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you're not breaking this.
Yeah.
So this really doesn't have a use. I mean, that can go into a tallow pile. So I just take my time. I mean, I can break these down quickly if I need to, but if I don't need to, why? This is one of the things where, like, working in kitchens, I would just love to stand there and just cut fish, cut steaks. It's really methodical and rhythmic, and you want to know who's bringing your beef in. You want to know, like, when I worked in the San Francisco Bay Area, we had a couple different people for beef, we had a couple different people for pork. You know, it was just a different market than there is here in New Mexico. Some of them were local. We got stuff out of the Napa Valley. Actually, that's gonna come off.
And you've already mentioned a lot of the places you've cooked and you've trained, but where did you first train, and then where have you trained since then?
Oh boy. So I started my career as a dishwasher at the age of 14 years old in a little town in Northern California.
Okay.
And this woman owned a restaurant. It was a cafe, and they did high-end food.
Yeah.
And she actually wanted to hire my mom because my mom's a really good cook.
Okay.
And my mom's like, no. So they needed a dishwasher, and so I'd ride my bike from high school, and I'd go in 2 days a week, and 1 day a week I would roll pasta, and the other day I would wash dishes, and I liked the work, and I just kept getting into better and better and better restaurants until at the age of 21, I became sous chef in my first like white tablecloth restaurant, and that was like, I was off and running. I found everything I wanted to do. I mean, the only other thing I really wanted to do was ride the Pony Express.
Oh yeah. No, it was too late.
I was too late. Yeah. I was too big to be a jockey, and I really wanted to work at the Budweiser stables.
Oh,
I mean, that was a dream.
One of my best friends in the world works at the Budweiser stables.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
I mean, she
sneaks us in to see the Clydesdales whenever
Oh
we're in
God!
town.
Like I bawl like a baby when I see them going down the street. They're just
and
so
the commercial
beautiful.
this year was beautiful with the eagle.
Oh yeah.
We love it. That's so fun. Shout out to my friend Ariel.
So yeah, that was a dream, but none of those things were really I could
but
do.
But this one did.
But this one because it kind of it incorporated everything. And there's a whole lot of a maverick kind of mindset that you have to have in order to be successful in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you have to have a healthy fear and a very healthy respect of your environment and your coworkers, and you have to have a kind of a presence.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what you have to have when you're on a horse, because anything can happen at any time.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of tenacity and understanding the dangers around you. I was telling someone
tuck and roll.
Yeah. I was telling someone, I have horses, right? I ride horses, and I was telling someone it's good to have a little bit of a healthy fear of the horse, right? I'm not telling someone to be scared of them, but we should understand and respect that.
Well,
just like a cow or
and they're prey animals.
Yeah.
And the curious prey animals probably didn't live.
Yeah. Right.
So the ones that got scared and ran, those are the ones that lived. So it makes sense that they're all going to be a little skittish.
Right. That's a great point. Absolutely.
Okay. So when you're looking at a beef tenderloin, this is the psoas muscle.
Okay.
So this is basically this part on us right here.
Okay.
This is the major. This is the minor, and then that piece I took off is called the chain.
Okay.
So all of this is edible. All of this is useful. Every part is useful. The primary use, though, is this piece right here, and this is the part that people pay the most for. This is the Chateaubriand.
Yeah.
So for something like this, you're going to want to take that, and if you look at that, we've got some intramuscular marbling.
Love to see it. Absolutely. Beautiful.
And on that side, there's a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this is select.
Right.
So the higher the grade, the more of this marbling you're going to see.
Right.
With tenderloin, a lot of it's on the outside, so you want to cook this high and dry.
Okay.
High heat, dry heat. So we're going to break that into slightly smaller medallions. And we'll put the rest on here. So when you look at this, actually this is the cut right here that I would like use for some really good tacos.
Yeah.
Because it's shreddy.
Yeah.
So what I would do with this is I'd just throw it in the Instapot with a bunch of chili pods.
Yeah.
Basically that.
Okay.
Throw it in an Instapot and 45 minutes, take it out, take the meat out, shred it. If you have a KitchenAid and a paddle attachment, you can shred beef in a minute.
Oh, really?
Beef, chicken, pork, oh yeah.
Oh man.
That's
great. I love that.
Oh yeah, throw it in hot and with a paddle and
it just does the thing.
It does the thing.
I love my KitchenAid.
Oh yeah, this is a whole new use for KitchenAids.
Yeah. Oh man.
So
I'm scared of my Instapot, but I love my KitchenAid.
you know, Instapots at altitude for beans. There's nothing better.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sniffling. My allergies. It's allergy season in Santa Fe. All right, so we're gonna put that aside.
Okay.
All right, now for the tri-tip, let's do a side-by-side comparison. We're gonna cook these in a preheated cast iron pan.
Okay.
So with the tri-tip, we want to kind of look toward the center, and let's see where we end up with that. And I left a little bit more of that surface fat on there because it's got less marbling.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that surface fat is going to give us just
Dare I say flavor?
you say flavor. I say flavor. I think that's a good thing to say. All right. So when I'm going to sear this beef, I'm going to put a little bit of salt on the outside, and I'm going to wait on the pepper.
Okay.
Well, here's the reason why. Pepper is one of the only spices that I know of that when you cook it, it actually diminishes in potency.
Oh,
That's why you could eat pepper crusted this and pepper crusted that.
Yeah.
And you don't blow the top of your head off.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so that's the tenderloin right there. And here we're going to do the tri-tip over here. And I want to do a side-by-side comparison of the two. All right, so I'm gonna salt the other side. We're gonna let those sear. Okay. So the tri-tip would benefit too from something like sous vide.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where you could just have it break down those tissues all day long and then bring it home and sear it.
Yeah.
That's what that would really be good for.
Okay.
That would be a good way to cook that.
I was gonna say that's above my expertise level as well. I do know a lot of people love that, and a lot of people do it. Even in New Mexico, we've met a lot of folks that love or specifically in New Mexico, not even.
Yeah, because you can start it, you can go out and do whatever it is you need to do, come back, and dinner's basically done. You just need to put a few finishing touches on it. That's what I really
it's
like.
cooking all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But at a really super low temperature, so the protein will cook.
Yeah.
But it still looks kind of raw-ish because you don't ever denature the protein. That happens at temperature.
Okay. Interesting.
So it won't caramelize. You won't get any color. So you'd have to sear it to get any sort of flavor color like that. It's kind of a rule. Whenever you grab tongs, you have to make sure they work.
I saw a social media video where it was the test, and it was like if you grab a drill, do you go, and then
100%.
Yeah. And then you tongs, you tap it.
Yeah.
It was funny.
A scoop.
Yeah, all the things you gotta test.
Right, I'm just making sure we're getting a good sear, and we are. Okay, so the chilies now are completely broken down. They're really soft. So I'm going to take this over to the blender, and when I blend anything, I pour down. When I'm pouring anything that's hot, I try to pour down. So if it spills, it spills in the sink.
Yeah, 100%.
First you do it, then you do it right. Okay.
I could have gone around here.
Okay. All right, that little lip. All right, so with the Vitamixes, these things are like the Harley Davidson blenders.
Okay.
And so I take the little cap out because I'm going to blend something hot.
Oh. And
So you
gotta
see,
release the.
you got to release the steam.
Yeah, makes sense.
So if you do that, there's still 4 layers of fabric here. You're still safe,
Yeah.
but it's still going to let the steam out so you don't build up pressure below the lid.
Okay.
Start slow, and we're going to work our way up. You just want to dissipate that little puff of steam. Now we're done. All right.
Ooh, a little pop at the
Yeah,
end.
did you see that?
Yeah, I should have been video.
Okay, so now always professional. All right, here we go. Okay,
I'm gonna flip.
gonna flip. Got a nice good sear on that. Okay, and I'm gonna show you a trick to figuring out the doneness.
Oh,
So-
absolutely.
All right, so you're gonna take your non-dominant hand and hold it up.
Right.
All right, are you right-handed or right-handed?
Yeah.
Okay, so take the index finger on your right hand, push right here, right in the fattiest part. Okay, that's rare.
Right.
Okay, medium rare.
Okay.
Medium, it's in the middle,
Oh, I did get it. Yeah.
also known as the driving finger.
Okay. Yeah.
Medium well,
Yeah.
well done.
No, thank you.
Yeah. We're like, why?
Yeah.
That animal gave its life for you.
No.
You know, but actually, I'll say this. So that tail end of the tenderloin, that tuck
Yeah.
end of the tenderloin, or actually the head end of the tenderloin,
Yeah.
I love the medium wells when they come in.
Oh, heck
because
yeah.
that's who gets the medium well.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a bad piece of meat.
Right.
It's just not what you want to give somebody who's ordering it medium rare or rare.
Right.
And actually, tenderloin, I wouldn't order it rare. Medium rare is about where it's at.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Just because you still want some caramelization, you still want it to be cooked a little bit. You
Yeah.
want it a little bit warm in the middle. I think that's where the meat stands out.
Well, and my thing too, my spiel is I don't care how you order it. We're excited you're ordering beef, right? Because every time you order beef at a restaurant, at a even at a fast food restaurant, whatever, anywhere you're eating beef, grocery store, you're cooking it at home, anywhere you're supporting a rancher. You're
Yeah,
making
that's-
it so that families can continue to ranch and live on the land and
Yeah.
ride out on a horse where there's no sound and except maybe a rattle.
Yeah.
And yeah, so anytime you're eating beef. So yeah, so I tease, but I'm not gonna judge how anybody orders beef. I just hope they're ordering it.
Yeah, I am, I'm a native Texan, and even though I come from El Paso, it's still Texas.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah. But beef is part of like what you're raised on, and I am an omnivore, and I thought about being a vegetarian for a minute, and I thought, why would I do that? I couldn't have a hamburger.
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
Yeah, no, I'm very much a omnivore and have some friends that are even carnivores. So, yeah. So okay, so we've talked about your start small restaurant in Northern California. What town in Northern California?
A little town called Benicia, California.
Okay.
That was actually the state capital from 1853 to 1854.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
How neat.
Yeah, it was a great place to grow up. It's about an hour from Napa, an hour from San Francisco, an hour from Sacramento. And I didn't make this sauce real thin. I don't want it real thin. It's barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
So it's really its location for me was key because there was so many different influences.
Yeah.
There was the culinary scene. There was this, when we moved there, this was about the time that the California food and wine scene was really taking off.
Okay.
Farmers markets were taking off.
Yeah.
My mom always cooked at home. She was a great cook. So now we had access to all this amazing produce all year long. California is really the produce basket of the country.
Yeah.
And it was amazing
Yeah.
growing up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But having access to that kind of food and just being around the restaurant scene, I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to
Neat. Very neat.
Yeah.
And you're also a horse girl, right? So you also have been around
100%.
been around livestock and love that aspect
Yes.
too, right?
And it's a dream to have a small tractor farm someday.
Yeah.
I love horses. I've owned 3 geldings now, and would like to someday again in the future.
Yeah.
Um,
They're special animals.
There's something about the connection, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is. I just know it is, and
Yeah.
I felt it since I was a kid. So,
Neat.
working around, ranchers and cows, and there's no harder working people than ranchers.
Oh yeah, I agree. And we love the horse, right? So the horse is often a tool, but also an asset, and I think bankers call them a liability.
A companion.
But they're just neat animals, and that's a neat thing about New Mexico is because we're such a vast state and things are so spread out. Oftentimes, ranchers have to use a horse.
Yeah.
And even when they're using federal lands leases so you're not allowed to take a motorized vehicle off the road, right?
Yeah.
So you have to take your feet or your hooves. And so horses are a really important tool in New Mexico, and it's pretty sweet, We were the Wild West, and we are the Wild West.
We still are the Wild West, and
Yeah.
you know what? That's why I love living here.
Cowboys are often found in New Mexico.
All right, so we've got the tenderloin. Oh my God, can you smell that?
That's beautiful.
All right, so now I'm gonna pepper it.
Okay.
Turn that like that like that. And we're gonna fan that on the plate. Okay, and I'll get a fresh pepper mill. That way you get that nice little pop of fresh pepper.
What's the most unique thing you've ever cooked with beef, or maybe just a fun story?
So I had some friends. They may still be out there. I don't know. Shane and Sage Faulkner that owned or were managing Soaring Eagle Ranch up near Lake Heron.
Okay.
And I was trying to get back into just being around horses again. And I asked them if I could come up there and ride, and they said yeah. So I was checking. They have Scottish Highland cattle.
Oh, yeah.
They are crazy looking cows.
Right.
Okay, so on the left is the tender. On the right is the.
Tri-tip?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So I was out riding on this vast ranch, and there's all this water up there. It's just gorgeous. You see eagles up there all the time.
Yeah.
And this little baby, this doe and fawn were just walking in front of me down the road.
Yeah.
They smelled the horses first. It was just incredible. And then I came back, and we grilled like this incredible dinner with their beef, and it was good.
That sounds like a very memorable experience. And I think even when you started talking about your background and your start, it's a lot about nostalgia and food brings us together, right?
It should.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think so.
Yeah. Try it.
We'll try it. Here we go. I'm gonna taste the sauce first.
Okay.
Oh. So imagine that slathered on some ribs,
Oh my goodness, that's delicious.
but it's a little smoky, kind of hot. Oh.
That tenderloin is delicious. I feel bad. Sorry, you guys don't get to taste it.
I'm not sorry at all.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry,
even
not
a little
sorry.
Sorry, yeah, no.
That's delicious, and that tenderloin is so tender.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, right, it's a select option, right? So that even is just a reminder that preparation and all kinds of things, right? You can have a really delicious item, and you don't have to buy the top prime every time. I don't know if that's a bad sales pitch for USDA inspection, but
No. And honestly, if you're eating beef 2 or 3 times a week, you're not going to be able to afford the prime cuts. That's a lot of money. And it doesn't mean, some of the other cuts are just as good, if not better. It just takes more time. So this is a little bit tougher.
Yep.
Because it doesn't have that intramuscular marbling.
Right.
So this would be better suited maybe, like you were saying, in your smoker or in an Instapot, something that's going to break down those fibers.
Yeah, absolutely. But even a tri-tip too. I love a tri-tip sandwich. I love
heck yeah. You bake
where
it.
you can, where you're expecting chewy and you're okay with it, and or tri-tip salad, anything. And it's typally an affordable option. So that's why.
Yeah, and you
I'm
can feed a
always
family
got it.
of 4 on a good chunk of.
And maybe even have leftovers for throw it in a quesadilla for the kids. the
Green
next
chili
day.
stew. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Okay, are there any simple tips for a home cook you've said a bunch of tips and a bunch of things, read the directions, not just the ingredients.
Yeah, there you go.
Look for the marbling, those kind of things.
Yeah.
But are there any other simple tips if someone is cooking beef, choosing beef, how they can make sure, or even encouragement that it's not that hard to mess it up? Maybe it is.
No, not necessarily. Fat is flavor. Don't be afraid of the fat.
Yeah.
If you're making meatloaf, you can pour off whatever excess is there, but if you're starting with a super lean meat because you're trying to make it healthier, it's not going to taste good. It doesn't matter how healthy something is. If it's not good, you're not going to eat it.
Right. Well, yeah, and like we talked about, beef has the healthy fats, right? These are fats that are good for you. We've been eating them for
millennia.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Start with a hot pan.
Ooh, okay.
And I didn't use any oil.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So cast iron, you can sear really hot with no oil.
Okay.
And that's what you want. Minimal oil, high heat, get a good sear. Whether you're searing, whether you're doing like the tenderloin or not, or the tri-tip, you're gonna like maybe put it into a pressure cooker or roast it. You still want to sear the outside to get some flavor and some color.
Okay. And then I think my phone keeps locking. I forgot to do the. Okay, so we have
I'm
tips.
gonna keep eating because I'm hungry.
I know I might actually as well.
Okay.
But I feel like this has been really good, and we can probably kind of close it out. And so my question I ask everybody at the end is, what is your favorite way to eat beef? It can be the forever favorite, it can be the right now favorite, but just what's your favorite way to eat beef?
So every chef will play, when we get together, we play death row dinner. What's your death row dinner?
Okay. Yeah.
So my death row dinner is beef tenderloin wrapped with bacon, with chipotle marinated shrimp wrapped with bacon, and a chili relleno.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
That's delicious.
Yes.
Delicious. It's New Mexican.
Yep.
It's beef. It's all kinds of animal protein.
Yeah. It's all kinds of chili. It's all kinds of flavors. Yeah. That is my death row dinner right there.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to do the podcast and
absolutely
all the work you do for us. And then, a special shout out, thank you to Santa Fe School of Cooking for letting us film and eat some delicious beef here in their kitchen. And thank you again.
Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Well, that's another episode. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye with the bite.